Hey everybody, it's qualifying finals day, and as you can see there's some clouds but the sun is out. There's supposed to be no rain today, thank goodness. Last night was crazy. The qualifying actually didn't end until 1:15 in the morning, with Kristyna Pliskova losing to the up-and-coming American-Mexican Chirico. The crier is a bit tired. You may hear it in my voice, but let's get through this. I'll have to get over to the Billie Jean King Tennis Center, and start watching some finals. It looks like they're starting at 11 like they were supposed to, which I thought maybe they'd start a little later, but as of now, some of the matches are going off at 11. Okay, as you can see in front of me, Kukushkin with the big upset of number 1 seed. He went on to the final. Most of the play didn't start until about 5:30. A lot of and it went on all night. So there's going to be a lot of tired players today, and it's going to be hard to know what happens. Like for instance, Maria, the Japanese guy, he's always a big-time fighter. As you could see, he had a tough one with growth. He looked like he wasn't ready to go at all. Teixeira jumped all over him. 6-love, and then he fought in the second set, but he being down already, it was just tough. And conditions definitely weren't fast on a rainy night like last night, so I think Mariah would have had his chances, but I think the rain, the big delay, waiting around all day definitely affected him worse than Teixeira, it looks like. And Mariah's played a lot of tennis too this year, so it's hard to know what kind of shape he's in right now, whereas Teixeira has kind of had a bad year, so Teixeira, I'm saying. So he that may have helped as well. Karlovic got through the clay quarter Bagnus. Again, slower conditions, so it was a little bit tougher for him than you'd expect. What do we get? Golubev is in there. So these are some great finals today. Kukushkin, Teixeira. These are all veterans. Karlovic, Golubev. Let's see what we got here. Sarah continued onward. Very much a really good veteran, all-around court kind of guy. Being slower, I think that really screwed Fischer. Plus the rain delays. Fischer's always kind of physically and sometimes mentally not with it. So I think, and Sarah is a guy that just disappears until he always shows up for some stuff in the Grand Slam. So another one, Di Wu, I think he would have had a much better chance. I'm almost surprised he didn't win, but I know that Martin is having a better year, so is probably the better player as well. And he is the better player, so I guess that makes sense after all. But that's another good one of veterans. Pechner, a little bit slower would have really helped Knudsen, but, Pechner came through. Again, when you have these big rain delays and you're playing at night and you don't expect it, you just don't know how these players are going to react. Knudsen's been weak of the mind at times, but so is Pechner. So that's kind of, I would have tossed that one up, and it was a 3-setter. You could see the 1-6 loss in the second set there. So, anyways, he's going to play. Here's the first young guy, 16-year-old Jared Donaldson. I'm going to have some links. I have on my Twitter some links to his information on him. He was born in Rhode Island, or he grew up in Rhode Island, but he trains in Argentina. He wanted to get some clay court training, learn to get an all-around game. And he hasn't done much in the junior circuit yet, but he's done some good stuff locally. And here he is, unbelievable big upset in the first round over Dustov, and actually a big upset here over Marchenko. He lost the first set, but again, I think they started before the rain, if I'm correct, or maybe not. But either way, Marchenko just went away physically and or mentally, it looks like, at the end. So big-time stuff from Donaldson, amazing. Can he upset the veteran Pechner today? Gonzalez, Alejandro is from Colombia. He's been having a great challenger year, but it's mainly on clay. Now, Arnabaldi is mainly a clay guy too, but he can play hard court, and I guess Gonzalez just didn't have what it takes for the hard court there. Dutra Silva, another clay guy, but so is Dylan Nava. So Arnabaldi might be able to get through this. Dutra Silva is definitely the better player, but it will be it will be interesting to see. I think Dutra Silva will still get this, but Deverman, what a comeback. I saw some of this. It looked like he was in trouble against Ginepri, but then Ginepri just went away in that third set. Mentally, physically, out of form. I mean, Ginepri, he tries to pop up during U.S. Open season, but every year it seems like he gets further and further away from the good tennis he can play and closer to retirement. Deverman's been having a great year, so that probably set him up for a good third set last night. James Ward's been having a great challenger circuit. He had to wake up after the rain delay, but then once he woke up, he won a tough one over Balkinger. So that's another great one, Deverman and Ward. Jameer Jenkins, this is the one I really am upset that I missed, not getting over there yesterday. That was caught in the middle of the rain delay. That was 7-5, 2-2 in the second when it was rain. They came back on. Reister won it, but what a great comeback by Jenkins to pull it out in the third set. Reister maybe fatigued a bit mentally there, and Jenkins, these Americans like Jenkins and Donaldson, they want this really bad, in front of their home people, the home country. So great stuff, and he's going to go up against Fabiano like I predicted. Varev pooped out after his tough one with Dignatic. So I think Jenkins has a great chance against a clay courter like Fabiano, old guy too. And that was not an easy one with Varev either, so Fabiano could be a little tired. Donald Young, this is amazing. He pretty much, I guess he called it an upset, but he beat Jaquel. Estrella, definitely an upset over Wang. And Estrella's, they're both trying to get back in the mix, so this is a neat one. Estrella's over 30. Donald Young's never fulfilled his talent, but this will be a very interesting match. Estrella can do hard as well as clay, so he's good to go. Donald Young, hard court's good for him. Smooth this up. We've got Souza. I'm almost surprised Souza gave this much of a match to Kyrgios. He's more of a clay court guy, but he has a big serve. But conditions were slow last night, slower. But Kyrgios did prevail in the end. Souza tends to burn out. And Jaziri, maybe he's in shape a little bit again. But he's had, again, maybe the slower conditions hurt Roches, and he's older. What do we got? Dancevic, another tough one. He had a tough one over Gabashvili and a tough one over this Herbert. Ito, a pretty tough one over Roche. So that's another good veteran matchup. Dancevic's in the best form. I think Ito would be a little bit better on these courts, but we'll see. Conditions today it's not too warm. It's not too humid either, so it should be medium fast, I guess. That's a toss-up. That's another great matchup, actually. So is Jaziri and Kyrgios. Great finals today. Wow. Odesnik couldn't get by DeVos, even though it was a little bit slower. You'd think that'd give Odesnik an advantage, but DeVos pulled it out, and he's a little bit better form, and that's probably why. And Goljovic, same thing. These were all into the night. Tough three-setters. These guys are going to be tired today, or fatigued mentally at least. Heinrich got through the clay quarter, Italian clay quarter, Alasso, and Sueda got through, so over the old man Messire. So another veteran matchup. Donald Evans, he's on fire. The other Brit who's on fire. And this is upsetting with Kavchuk. He does it all the time. He's got body problems, but he's also got mental issues, I think. Won the first set against more of a clay court guy who can play some hard court, but Mesiris, Menendez Mesiris. But you have the first set. You got to wrap this up, and just disappointing. Loses in 3 sets. As the night went on, maybe he just fatigued. Yeah. So, anyways, Weintraub, the Israelite, against Gonzalez, the clay court guy. A surprising win over Reed, actually. The slower conditions would have helped Reed on top of it, but I don't know. Maybe Gonzalez is just better form. Kuznetsov, a tough one with Myrtle. I saw some of that. They both were a little bit out of it from the big delay, but a lot of errors. But Kuznetsov came through. Robert came through. The slower conditions probably hurt Molchanov. And then, last but not least, Olivetti. I was following this a little bit on the live ticker. And another tough one with Lajovic, and then this one with Gem. 2 big serving, big guys. Olivetti definitely better at hard courts, but maybe the slower conditions hurting him. In the third set tiebreak, he got the mini, gave it back up, got it again, and then went on to win. So tiebreak in the third set. And he'll play Schwartzman. He has a great shot. Now, Schwartzman's more of a clay guy, though he can play hard. But this gives Olivetti a great shot. I'm going to be watching that and hoping he gets into the final. Now let's pop over to the women. All right. And if Olivetti can get to the final, he may be too pooped out to do much, but hopefully maybe he can even win a first-round match if he's lucky. or second round, who knows. All right, Pervac, who did the big upset on Pier, she got through, had a letdown in the second set, but she's through her and Delacqua. That's a great final. Fishman, the number 2 seed, and Panova. A little bit of an upset there over Parmentier, but not a big deal. Halakova beat Pazik. Pazik's really fallen from grace the last 2 years. A lot of physical issues. But Halakova, 3rd seed, that's against Gracie Min. That's a good one. Vicky Duvall, how about this? After the upset of the 4 seed, she's through to the final. Got to root for Vicky, American. She's looked like she's bulked up a little bit. I mean, she was real thin a year ago. Now she's got a little more meat on the bones. So Coco Vandeweghe has a good shot here, though. This matchup's not going to be an easy one with Abduraimova, however you say that. But I think Coco can do it. Madison Brangle, look at this. After the big upset, she's got a chance. Nara, the Japanese girl, the little girl, against Patricia Mayer. This is a good one, but Mayer had a tougher match last night, and it went pretty late. So maybe Nara has the advantage. And Rogaska and Kohler, that's another pretty good one. And we'll jump down to here. Castano and Dushevina. Dushevina's making a big comeback here, and even though she's not the number 1 seed, she's probably the 1 seed here at the moment, talent-wise, and she should get through pretty easy, I would expect. Karen Tencheva, rooting for her against Lucic, though that's going to be tough. Lucic's got a lot of power. Townsend, late night. She didn't get done till after midnight. Got to wonder, hopefully it doesn't affect the young girl. The good news is Brachikova wasn't there yesterday, so it's against Simons, which wouldn't worry about. The girl from South Africa, I think it'd be tougher against Brachikova, so I think Townsend has a great shot here. I'm going to be watching her today. De Brito and Baltalcha, that's a good one. We'll see what happens. Hebe was the Japanese girl, that 16 or 17-year-old that made the national playoffs, and she won. She's the first woman to come in from the national playoffs and win a round. She won her first round, and a good one over Ali Kick, who's the daughter of Jim Kick, the former great Miami Dolphins running back in the 70s. But Hebe couldn't do it a second time. And Radonova has the experience with the rain delay and all that. Now Radonova goes up against Glushko, and that should be a pretty good one. Big Red, I call her, Van Uytvanck from Belgium. Tall redhead girl. She's going to have a shot here, but Tomjanovic's not going to be easy. But Tomjanovic had the tougher match last night, so maybe Van Uytvanck will take advantage of that. Krunic, I call her Robin for the Batman and Robin team. Krunic plays on the Fed Cup for Serbia, and she has teamed with Yankovic in the past in doubles and done some great stuff. And she's a small girl, but a fighter and fast, and they made a great team. I would call them Batman and Robin. But anyways, this is going to be tough for Krunic, though. I mean, it's great she got this far, and Gavrilova is a good girl just from the juniors, came up from the juniors, but Chirico has got a lot of talent, but Krunic does have has more experience, so it will be experience versus talent, and this will be interesting. Chirico had finished up at 1:15 in the morning. It looked like Pliskova finally pooped out at the end, and there wasn't any heat. Pliskova's have trouble with the heat, but it was late at night and the conditions were cool enough. But a little slower too, and you were going to have to fight, and late in the night, and I think mentally it just was a fatigue factor there, and that's the other one I really am upset that I missed. That looked like a great one. And then Cohen, the girl from Philadelphia, she has a shot to get through, rooting for her big time, though I always liked Gorgie, though she never did meet her expectations, but she's gradually improving, steadily. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting match. That's going to be a really interesting one. So a lot of great matches today, and I will be reporting next live from the grounds of the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center.